If only I had a nicer bike, then I would be happy. Wow, sweet! A new bike? This is awesome! Although, if I only didn't have to pedal, then I would be happy. Wow, a Harley Davidson? Amazing! Although, I have to have the gear now. Now we're talking. Although, if only I could go faster, then I would be happy. Wow, a Lamborghini? This is incredible! You know what would go great with the Lamborghini? If only I had a... Oh man, what a funny video. Now, doesn't that sound familiar?
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
If we may not be willing to admit it, but we all know someone that has had a little bit of that attitude at some point. So,
have you ever struggled with that?
You know, it's there's been temptation that we think that sometimes whenever we get something else, then now we'll be happy.
Yeah.
Oh, now if we just get something else, we'll be happy.
I have definitely been there, done that.
Yeah.
And so the second financial commandment is, do not try to acquire happiness by material items. It's so important, and you know what? It's just as important for the rich as it is for the poor, and you know,
everyone seems to struggle with this to some degree.
Yeah, and you know what I found is that you know, before I learned about stewardship and about God's financial principles, I definitely struggled with it a lot more than I do now. However, with that being said, there are seasons when I do struggle with this, and so you know, God's got something to say about it. We want to convey that to you and communicate that to you guys. So we're looking forward to this. And let me just say, Proverbs 27:20 says, "Hell and destruction are never full. So the eyes of a man are never satisfied." And I think that really speaks to
the lust of the eyes.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, just really goes in depth about the lust of the eyes.
Exactly.
And how we think we see things. And suddenly we need that.
Yeah.
We need that.
Right,
now we need this. Now we need that.
And
I love your example that you share about needing things.
Well, yeah, I tell you what, it's we're going through a process, right? And life is definitely a process when it comes to this stuff. And you know, I think the lie of the enemy is that, you know, hey, we need a new house. We need a new car, or we need a new spouse. Crazy.
The ultimate lie, yeah.
The ultimate lie.
And coming to that realization that no material item on this earth can bring happiness. The only true happiness can come from an ongoing relationship with God. That is the only route, the only possibility, our only chance of true happiness is that relationship with God.
Yeah.
It's not that, you know, if we only had this, that would do it. You know, we think that sometimes it will help, and maybe we are happy for the next 24 hours or something, but it's not true happiness. Yeah. No, I mean,
I'd say we've got a story. And several years ago now, we were looking for a new house. And of course, we looked at each other and say, we're not going to buy a house.
Not you and me.
Oh no,
okay,
no,
not you and me.
No, Kathy and myself.
Somebody looks much better than me, who is Mike Harrell's wife.
Yes.
Not me and Mike.
Okay, so Kathy and I were looking for a new house. And of course, we looked at each other and said, we're not going to buy a house over X. Yeah. So, of course, we were looking within this price range. And just so happened there was an open house on a house that was more than what we told ourselves we weren't gonna purchase.
That seems to always happen.
And I tell you what, we both went through that house, and it had everything that we were looking for, and we fell in love with this house. Okay. We actually put an offer in on it that day. I don't know exactly how the conversation went, but we both just said, you know what, let's. I think we can make the fit, and we make the payments fit and everything.
And we'll make it work.
We do that, and man, this is exactly what we're looking for. We need this house for our family and for our future and so on. I tell you what, James, that house ended up not being a blessing. and we soon found out that there were actually mice that were able to get into the house, and the pool had problems with it. The liner was leaking and stuff like that, and it turned out to be not a blessing, but actually a curse.
Yeah.
And we learned a lot by going through that process.
And the lie of the enemy is that, you know what? You would say this to Kathy, not me. You know what, Kathy? If we could just get this house, then that would be it. We would have. It has everything we need. It has everything that we want. It's all that we're looking for, and that can be the lie of the enemy. Is if we could just get this house, you know what? We'll make the sacrifice. We'll stretch, and we'll do this. But you know what? It oftentimes doesn't work out that way. You may have mice in it.
well, that and the stress that came along with the adding the extra amount to the mortgage and so on. It really created a lot of stress when it came to our marriage and our finances and so on. So I think of like the people of Israel.
Yeah. And so the people of Israel, God gave them manna. I don't know how it tasted, but I bet it tasted pretty good.
A little bit like honey.
Yeah, and so God gave them manna every day.
Yeah,
and so He provided for them, and they complained. Oh God, manna every day. I'm sick of this. Yeah. If only we had meat. If only we had some meat. God sent them quail. And what the Bible says is, while it was still in their mouth, they became discontent with it.
Oh, my gosh.
So just that thing of, you know what, if we only had meat, if we only had food, oh, God gives us manna. Oh, now if we only had meat, then we'll be happy. Oh, God, now we need this, then we'll be happy. Yeah. And it's just a lie and a lie and a lie. Nothing that we can obtain or no material item will ever bring us happiness.
Yeah, exactly.
God brings happiness. A relationship, a communion with God is what brings happiness.
Oh, that's good stuff. That is. And it's really, we all need to kind of take a step back and say, Lord, if there's anything that I'm putting before you, if it's my house, if it's my car or my job or my kids or anything, but especially we're talking about material items right now, but if there's anything that I'm putting before you, the Bible says that's idolatry.
Idolatry. Anything you put before God.
Anything. And so we definitely want you guys to, we talked about last week, putting God first and really not having stuff rule you. It's okay to have some stuff, but just make sure it doesn't have you, that you're putting God first and
God has your full heart.
Yes, most definitely. So we want this.
Mike, sometimes I think we can strive to obtain more, get more. And part of that is even deeper. And our world tells us that we need more. Our world tells us, oh, you got to get this.
Yeah.
What you told me before is that how many people wanted the iPhone 10 years ago?
Right.
No one, because it wasn't even there.
Exactly.
But now it's out. It's the coolest. It's the greatest. Now we need this. We need this as well. We need that. But so we can just strive to try to achieve so much, and we're trying to achieve. But the Bible says that the blessing of the Lord makes one rich, and He has no sorrow with it. And so sometimes we'll be getting, but yet there's so much sorrow that comes because only God can do that.
Exactly. We're trying to fill that hole, right?
And so we need to learn to not be looking for material things to be happy. I have a 2-year-old boy named Parker, and he is the sweetest thing you've ever met. Precious.
Yes, he is.
But I was telling him, Parker, you need to learn to share. And he said, no, Daddy, I love sharing. I share with myself all the time. But you know what? We tell ourselves that sometimes. You know what? It's that kid mentality of, I just got to get more. I got to get more. And I'll just pile it all up. And, oh, no, I'm playing with that. No, I'm playing with that. I'm playing with that. And it's just the selfishness of the humankind.
I'm going to tell you, this really just came to me that, when instead of saying, how much can I get of stuff, let's say, how much can I get of you, Lord? How much can I get of you and drive this other stuff out? Because, when we have more of Him within us, that's when we're blessed. That's when we're selfless instead of selfish.
Yep. So, Mike, what brings true happiness?
What brings true happiness?
An ongoing relationship with God.
Amen.
Is it material items? Absolutely not. You will never be happy through another material item.
That's right.
And we think, oh, well, at least it'll bring joy. But what brings joy is God.
Amen.
And God brings joy.
Yes.
And we need God for joy.
Yes, we do. Yes,
So thank you so much for joining us for week 2, where we covered that material items, or not to look towards material items for happiness.
Yeah, amen.
And so it leads to a road of destruction. And so thank you so much for joining us. We love you and
Love
appreciate
you guys. God bless you. See you next week.
Blessings.